So Dylan, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It was you made for a very exciting race for us here in the studio. We thoroughly enjoyed when we could catch the time splits. It was super exciting to watch the race unfold.
Yeah, I was able to stay relatively close until just the last bit there.
How did you feel the race? Fun. How did the race play out against your sort of plans for it before you started?
Oh my gosh, sorry, it's very windy. Quite honestly, it didn't go like quite as planned. I was not able to push as much on climbs as I wanted, but my main focus was just on fueling enough, because that's something I've had trouble with. So I was just, even when I was feeling kind of bad going on a climb or something like that, trying to get the gels in, keep drinking water, and I knew if I was able to do that, I'd at least be able to keep it rolling pretty well, even if it wasn't exactly how quick I wanted to be going.
Yeah, and you absolutely had a fantastic day out there. You shredded really well. You went up against, a very formidable opponent in Chris Myers. It sounds like you guys battled it up the climb. Chris was like, dude, Dylan just took it up the climb and I could not keep up with him. And then he was able to make that pass on the ground. What was it like running out there? It seems like you were kind of in no man's land, not really around anyone for a majority of the race. Were you trying to run scared? Were you running scared? Were you running more like chasing and hunting? What was your mentality out there?
I would say I was just trying to keep it controlled and not redlining too hard on climbs. Going past folks on the trails, they kept letting me know what the time gap was up to Chris, and it was sitting right around the 2-minute mark for quite a while there. So I knew I didn't need to absolutely hammer a climb, that I was still making good time, and that was fun. But I didn't try and absolutely send it to try and catch up with him, because that would backfire very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, as such a young athlete in the sport at 24 years old, it sounds like you've got some wisdom in there. I'm going to imagine that part of that wisdom comes from Big Daddy Hal, who I've heard you work for him, correct?
Yeah. I'm one of two other guys that work at Rogue Valley Runners in Ashland, Oregon.
Yeah, what a fantastic story. I actually was just out there myself, spent some time in Ashland. You guys have beautiful country to run in, some amazing trails. In fact, I hit Wonder Trail 3 days in a row just because it was so epic and so awesome. How did that type of training, those trails you have out there, help you for this race?
Ashland is an amazing spot if you want to get really fit. It's, endless uphill and downhill around the year. We've got the lower part of the watershed that stays practically snow-free all year, so we're able to get good climbing and relatively steep climbing if you want to, whenever you want.
I wanted to recount a moment there that we got to witness going into Cascade Locks the second time. You got to pass Hal Kerner as he was leaving and you were coming in. Did he fire you on the spot, or was there any words said?
Oh no, I'm sure we'll have a big talk later next week. No, we just give a little shout. He was just coming out of the aid station, so I think I kind of surprised him, because he was just 5 steps out of the aid station, and he turned the corner and I was there. But got a little high five was all pretty much.
I guess when it comes to Hal, he's got nothing to prove.
He's already proven it all.
He's not going to feel threatened. He's like, I've had my moment.
He's known around Ashland as the Big Cat, courtesy of his 2 Western States wins.
The Big Cat, I love that.
Yeah, because the Cougar Trophy for it.
Of course.
Absolutely love it. Do you glean information from him? Do you hey, teach me your ways? Are you a young Padawan? What is the relationship like there?
Oh, it's mostly vague analogies, but
typical Hal.
About training, that's pretty typical amongst the trail runners. Not taking it too seriously, but we'll talk about. He'll ask me what I'm doing for a log run, and he'll be like, "Oh, are you gonna push that climb?" And I'm like, "Sure, Hal, I'll push that climb." So there's little things, but we don't take the training too seriously. As he knows I take it seriously enough on my own. So
I love that. I absolutely love that. He's got a wealth of information. You, sir, are one of the up-and-comers, young guns in the sport who are really making a name for yourself, specifically out here at Gorge Waterfalls. What was your favorite part of the race this year compared to last year?
I think both years, I really love that first climb. Like, it's kind of a brutal way to start it, but it is really nice. It's not too long. The footing's good, and it's just a good way to start it out. It keeps you from like absolutely crushing it right at the beginning, because you're going up pretty steep stuff there, so you can't be going too crazy. That's my favorite part of the course, probably.
Awesome. Fantastic. Mr. Dylan Humberger, thank you so much for joining us here on the Mountain Outpost finish line for a nice little interview, recapping your amazing day out there, just literally shredding this course yet again. You had a little chip on your shoulder. You came back. You crushed it. I got to ask, before we let you go, what are we going to see you at next?
Right now, the next race I'm signed up for is Broken Arrow. I'm doing the 23K there. So I'm not going to do anything between now and then. I just did Chuckanut 4 weeks ago. So the Chuckanut and Gorge 50K double was pretty close together. So I'm kind of stoked to not race for a little bit.
I do have to say, before we let you go, you had a little shout out from Brett Hornig in the chat right here saying you're trending in the right direction. 3rd last year, 2nd this year. I hope we see you back next year to claim that top spot. You, sir, are absolutely a beast and deserving of it. Thank you for joining us. We're going to let you go so you can go enjoy one of those amazing Gorge Beer Company beers. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.